1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder how the chorus to the song Mask Off came about. Maybe he was in the studio just like, mask off. Yeah, mask off. And his homie just came out and was like, man, just don't chase no bitches. Don't chase no bitches. That's just a weird chorus to me. Mask off. Fucking mask off. Mask off. Fucking me. Don't chase no bitches. Don't chase no bitches. I think maybe if it was more of a kind of a PSA, if the mentality is do not pursue females, go with a bank robber's mentality, a bank robber's mindset in the pursuit of financial gain. Mask off. Fucking mask off. Don't pursue women. Don't spend all your time pursuing women. Instead, develop a bank robber's mentality in pursuit of legitimate financial gain. Mask off. Mask off. Don't chase no bitches. Ladies and gentlemen, Babylon 5 Podcast. Babylon 5 Podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Babbles. This is episode 20, Twen. Nigga. Anywho, yeah, it's your boy, episode 20. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Thank you all for rocking with me for this long. If you have been. If this is your first time, welcome. It's your boy, Jermaine Babbles. Hey, nice to meet you. I'll give you guys the social medias real quick if you want to follow the podcast on Twitter. And ladies and gentlemen, I just a few days ago started the Instagram. You can follow it at either one at Babylon 5 Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can that's Twitter or Instagram. You can email this podcast. Email me at babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can listen to this podcast. Follow the podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to the podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. And if you want to play some video games with your boy on Xbox, go ahead and add me. My gamer tag is SauceBoss414. What's up? How was your week? How was your weekend? Most likely. The week was cool for me. You know, just working. Just normal work. The wife and I, we just last night, we went and saw the movie Knives Out. She asked me if I wanted to go see it. And I was like, I don't care, you know. I don't care. I'll go see it. So I Googled Knives Out, and I looked at the cast, and I saw like the first 3 people that popped up, and it was like the Hispanic girl or whatever. I'm sorry if that's offensive. I don't know the correct term. Like the main character. I didn't know who she was. I've never seen her in anything, I don't think. And the other people that they put up there was probably like Jamie Lee Curtis and Daniel Craig. So I was like, this looks to be pretty white. This is probably about to be a white comedy. That was my prejudice going into it. And I really wish I didn't have that. So early on in the movie, I looked at the audience. The audience was pretty white. But you know what? I should... shame on me for even taking note of that and having prejudice based off the audience, because I live in Wisconsin. You know, I live in Milwaukee. Pretty much anywhere I go, unless I'm on the west side, pretty much anywhere I go, I'm the only black person there, or it's majority white. So I don't know why I would take that into account. It's shame on me. Shame on me. But early on in the movie, they show the actress Edie Patterson, and right away I was like, oh shit, this might be a little funnier than what I was expecting already, because I'm already starting to hate on it. But early on, they introduced Edie Patterson. She didn't have a major role, but just me seeing her early on, I was like, oh shit, this is probably actually about to be funny. If you don't know Edie plays Judy Gemstones. Judy Gemstone in the show Righteous Gemstones, and she co-stars with Danny McBride. Danny McBride is fucking hilarious. I think Edie Patterson completely steals the show. She has the scene where she has this is spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, fast forward about like maybe 2 minutes. But she has this confession that her first love was like, I think like her 60-something-year-old professor, he could be older, and he complimented her Patagonia, all right? He's like, is that Patagonia? I gotta get me one of those. She's like, yeah, like I knew what that meant. So after she interpreted that as he wanted to have sex with her, so after class, she like snuck into his like little office or whatever, and like just like forcibly jerked him off, and she said, she's like, yeah, he was fighting me off, but I figured it was just like a part of his game. I just thought it was a part of his little game. So she said she like forcibly jerked this man off, and like even though he's fighting her off, and so after he comes, like she says, he's just like he starts crying about like my wife, my kid, like he's just crying about like he's got a family, like, and yeah, she stole the show with that. All right, she completely stole the show. She was talking about how like whenever she would see this show, like whenever she would see this like 60-some-year-old professor, like he would just turn her on, just like instant snail trail. And that just geeked me the fuck out. And right away, when I saw her in the movie Knives Out, I was like, gotta check it out. Gotta check it out. Well, not gotta check it out. Gotta pay a little more attention. Gotta, like, bring back my prejudice is what I was thinking. Yeah. So that was her from Righteous Gemstones. So now here I am talking about Knives Out. Also in the movie, like shortly introduced, was Lakeith Stanfield. He also, unfortunately, had a smaller role than what I thought he was going to have. Like when I watched the trailer, it seemed like he was going to have a pretty major role in this movie, but I'd say pretty much the majority of his scenes were seen in the trailer. I would say early on and that happens like early on within like the first 30 minutes. He's pretty much just a background character from that point on. But shout out to Lakeith. Lakeith is out here, all right? He was just in Righteous Gemstones. Lakeith is the star of my favorite movie, Sorry to Bother You. Lakeith is a co-star on the show Atlanta with Donald Glover. Lakeith is out here. He's the guy who said Get Out in the movie Get Out. He's out here in a lot of things, man. He's balling. Shout out to Lakeith Stanfield. So when I saw Lakeith was in the movie, I was like, oh, this is actually really going to be good. I guess, like, a lot of other people cared that, like, Jamie Lee Curtis or whoever that lady from the movie, the Scream movie, or I don't know if it was Scream. One of them horror movies, man. Halloween, I think she's from the Halloween movies. That's to tell you how I feel about the movies, I guess. She was in the Freaky Friday movie with Lindsay Lohan. That lady. She was in the Freaky Friday movie with Lindsay Lohan. Yeah. So yeah, there's like Daniel Craig in there. I've never been like a big Daniel Craig fan, but Daniel Craig had this like thick, like, I thought he was portraying Michael Scott in Savannah. There's been a murder in Savannah. He was doing this, like, thick, like, Mississippi drawl, like, accent. He was doing this weird accent, super thick Southern accent, but I don't know. It was a dope movie. It took me, like, an hour to really get into it. I thought it started kind of slow. But, like, once, like, it got going, like, an hour into it, and they were getting into, like, just all these twists and turns. It's like the new Clue, if you will. I've never seen the old Clue. But that's what everybody kept telling me. It's the new Clue. So I guess I got to go see the new Clue. Because It's the new Clue. I didn't know the old Clue existed. But now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the new Clue. And with all these twists and all these turns, man, I was really into it. After about an hour in, they had Chris Evans, I think is his name. He's because I was like, isn't that the nigga that play Captain America? Like after we left up out of there, I'm like, ain't that Captain America? And sure enough, it's the nigga that play Captain America. I've never seen Captain America. My wife's never seen Captain America. Now I said to you guys, like, once it came to like all those random extra movies, and I was like, fuck, it's all connected, and I gotta watch all of these movies. I've been already watching all these X-Men movies, just trying to see how that's gonna go. You telling me and I don't care what universe we're talking about here. I'm investing my time in these superhero stories here, man. I'm not gonna fucking run to theaters every time you come out with 1,000 fucking movies a year that are all connected to the same story that's gonna lead to these Avenger movies. Go fuck yourself. So, Knives Out. It had a great ending, I would say. There was an aspect of the movie that was repeating. I don't really do good with the gross. So, like, there was the main character just would, like, throw up all the time for certain reasons. Like, if she was going to lie, she was, like, even thinking about lying, like, made her want to throw up. So if she lied, she'd throw up. So she just, like, kept, like, barfing. I'm not into that. But it was dope. It was a dope ending, dope little twists and turns. The nigga that played Captain America, as I said, was in. I like the way that sound. The nigga that played Captain America, was in there, and yeah, it was a good movie. Lakeith had a small role. I don't want to give too much away at all, but it's like a little bit over 2 hours, and I'd say it's definitely worth it. I left up out of there after the movie, and I'm saying to my wife, it got, I thought it was so good, after the first hour. The first hour, I was it was so, I was kind of, bored, almost. But, after, the second hour started, it had me. It was just whoa, what's happening? And by the end of it, I'm like, damn, I judged it coming in there. So I'm thinking my judgments really fucked everything up here, because I liked the second half of that so much. I'm like, dude, I probably missed a lot of jokes that I probably otherwise would have thought were really funny had I gone in there with a clear mind. Just, I don't know. I really enjoyed it toward the end. Had an amazing ending. I remember at the end, I said to my wife, this should have been the ending to Uncut Gems. I don't want to ruin either one. But I was like, yeah, this definitely should have been the ending to Uncut Gems or something like this. Something similar. But I think Knives Out was a really good movie. In me personal opinion, I say it's movie of the goddamn year. It's only the 5th. It's the 5th, ladies and gentlemen. Well, when you're getting this audio, it'll be the 6th. Yeah, I would say you guys should go check out Knives Out. Really good movie, a little bit over 2 hours, and everybody else was laughing throughout the first hour, and I was just hating. I was just in a mood hating. What these niggas laughing about? So I was in a mood, I think. I think I was just in a mood. And then once I got over myself, then I was able to enjoy the rest of that movie. Just had to get over myself, ladies and gentlemen. We should all try it out sometimes. Try to get over yourself. I realize that I'm crazy. I realize I'm crazy. I realize I'm so crazy. Let me talk to myself while talking, and letting a lot of people hear it, because I'm crazy. I'm going to talk to myself regardless. Why not record it? I think it's pretty interesting. I make myself laugh. So the other day, the wife, and we saw this show. I was going to skip right past it, to be honest. But my wife was like, oh, that might be pretty good. Might be pretty good. She didn't say that. She doesn't talk like that. I'm just talking. But she's like, it might be pretty good. So we put it on. Put it on. 'Cause tonight is the night. That we put that new show on. And it's called The Circle. And I'm gonna try to explain it. So there's like just these studio apartments, 8 studio apartments. And they put like one person in each studio apartment, and they have it where you have profile. You have they have these fake social media thing called like an app called The Circle, obviously because the show is called The Circle, and they have their profiles. Some of the contestants, like, you don't know who. It could be all 8, for all you know, are all catfish. You know what I'm saying? But some of the contestants are catfish. And at the end of it all, from what I'm expecting, either they all win $100,000 or they split $100,000. I'm not sure how that's going to go. But it's like, that's the prize, is $100,000 from what I was reading. So there's people, and they can only communicate to each other via this social media app. And they're trying to, figure out who's a catfish, who's not. And it's just, random things. Before they even get to talk to each other, just based off of the photo that each person chooses to upload for their profile, some of them are actually them. Some of them are actually catfish. There's just one guy who's using his girlfriend's photos. Spoiler alert for all this, by the way. There's one guy who's using his girlfriend's photos. There's this one girl who's using, I think, her girlfriend's photos, or maybe just the profile that she usually uses or something like that. I think they would probably need to know these people or have permission to use the photos. But, yeah, the guy who's using his girlfriend, he's gotten permission from his girlfriend to use her profile to be a girl and just try to win the game. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to win the game, trying to win some cash from this game. And so there's catfish in here. And I don't know if the goal of it all is to catch the catfish. Maybe that's a point. But from what I've seen, they've only eliminated people who aren't catfish. They thought these people were catfish, and then it turns out that they were actually the real person. And all the people that I've seen blocked is what they call it. So what they do is they vote. So based off of their profile pictures is what I was saying. They voted on the top 2 people, just superficially based off of the pictures, the profile pictures. And they ranked them from the best to the worst. And then the people who were the top 2 ranked became influencers. And then those 2 people get to chat via this social media site, just a private group chat, and they decide then between the 2 of them who they're going to eliminate from the show, aka blocking them. It's pretty wild. It's pretty fickle, because pretty much everyone just seems to be calling the other person out for being catfish. Every person just seems to accuse the next person for being a catfish. And if one person, once someone gets blocked from the show, I'm not sure if they get to choose who they go see, which player. I think it seems that way, that they get to decide who they go interact with. But you get to go interact with one other profile that's in the studio, one other person. And you could be meeting the person that you think you've been talking to, or you could be meeting the catfish, the person behind the profile. And then, it happened here where a guy went and met the girl and found out she was the catfish. And he gets to leave a message to everybody else afterwards. And he was like, I met with someone and they are not who you think they are. Like, and that was just his warning. So pretty much at that point, she had to pretend, I'm giving this up, spoiler alert, that she had the choice to either decide whether she should pretend that he didn't meet with her, or just say, like, yeah, he met with her, and I don't know, and, like, he told her that this person is fake, blah, blah, blah. But, no, yeah, it's interesting. It's pretty interesting. I didn't think I was going to be into it. From what I'm hearing, it's similar to the show Big Brother. I've never watched that before. I've seen The Real World. But this show, people they can't really interact with each other than these... There's group chats. They just this social media platform. It's like blog sites, which is interesting because I was saying to my wife, I was saying to people, like, I was trying to figure out what I used to do on the internet, and what I used to do was, like, go to blog sites. I used to just blog, mainly about Big L, and that's essentially what these people are doing. I've never met any of those people before. I've never seen any of those people before, but I definitely, like, felt like I got to know them pretty well in that space, on that platform, and made my opinions on who were good people and who weren't, just based off that. So it's like a similar platform that I was just talking about I want to get back into, and then that's the way they communicate throughout this show. And so you make your profile. It could be you, it could not be you, and people just make private DMs with every competitor, try to flirt with people for whatever reason. They're just, like, flirting with each other and, like, trying to make these alliances. I don't know. It's pretty weird. I don't know why they're flirting with each other. I don't know what they think would possibly come out of any of this. But, nah, it's like apparently some more episodes are going to drop on the 8th. And I'm pretty interested just to see how it goes. Why not? They put niggas in a box, put a camera on them. Let's see what happens. Let's just see how it go. You know, it's not a bad show. I think it's really cool that they introduced the catfishes in there, that whole aspect of it. It's not just people out here. And there was one point where, I said spoiler alert. There was one point where this guy who's pretending to be a girl, he, like, said, isn't this other guy cute? Or did everybody think that other guy was cute? There was just, like, a group chat for the girls, and one of the other girls was like, girl, he's gay. And, like, everybody else was like, yeah, dude, what are you talking about? Like, he's clearly gay. And it was like everybody else could just, like, all the other women could see that this person was gay, and he, as a man, couldn't spot it. So, like, they thought right away that person was a catfish. But from what I'm seeing, they've left that alone. And it was like, you guys called it out right there. It was right there in front of your face. Like, you guys spotted something that you feel like as a girl, they should have already, she should have picked up on. But she being secretly this catfish, he didn't pick up on that. He was just trying to, like, ask questions as a player in the game. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. It's something to watch. If you're watching things, go ahead and put it on. Put it on. Why not? Why not? Put it on. Put it on. Just see what's going on. Why not? And hit me up. We can have a conversation about it. Why not? Why not? Hit me up. I was trying to tell niggas the other day, and I'm going to tell you niggas right now, in about 13 days, 12 days from when you're getting this, if you're getting it on Monday, a lot sooner if you're hearing it anytime after Monday, January 6, 2020, then a lot sooner. Maybe even after. Maybe this is well after. Anywho, Conor McGregor takes on Donald Cowboy Cerrone January 18th, 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this right here to me transcends MMA, it transcends combat sports. Well, I don't know necessarily combat sports, but I think Conor McGregor has become an icon in, like, it's like, yeah, people got real famous at some point, but I'm telling people that in like 40 years, 30, 40 years, Conor's not doing it anymore. There's going to be memes of like inspirational Conor McGregor quotes. Like your kids are going to be posting these quotes. Conor McGregor is going to be looked at like a Muhammad Ali kind of person, kind of like a real life Rocky for certain people. You know what I'm saying? What's happening here on the 18th is bigger than it's bigger than just two guys going in there and fighting. It's a lot bigger than that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's a lot bigger than that. What's happening January 18th could either be two things. All right? One thing that could happen. Conor McGregor could go in there and he could lose. Well, I say more than two things. So Conor McGregor could go in there and he could lose very convincingly. Go in there and get his ass kicked. Just goes in there and Cowboy beats the shit out of Conor McGregor, and it's clear he doesn't have it anymore. That could happen. That's a possibility. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. But it's a possibility. If that happens, that means this right here, this shit right here, will be the last time we see Conor McGregor in combat sports. That would be my prediction for that, if that's the outcome. Another outcome, let's say Conor goes out there and has a good fight, loses a decision to Cowboy. I still say that's the end of Conor. I say Conor doesn't fight anymore at that point. He loses a good fight if he loses at all to Cowboy, I would say this is the last time we see him fight. And I would say that would mean this is the end of that time in history, the Conor McGregor era. There's people who would tell you about listening to Muhammad Ali fights on the radio. They'll tell you about they were listening to the fight on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So we're living in those times of someone of that level of how it's going to be put in history. I feel like people should take notice. It's bigger than just a fight happening. It's a lot bigger than just a fight happening. If he goes out there and beats the shit, if he goes in there and beats the shit out of Donald Cowboy Cerrone, let's say he knocks Donald Cowboy Cerrone out in the first round. At that point, I don't know. It depends what Conor McGregor says when they put that microphone in his hand. If he goes out there and starts talking smack to Jorge Masvidal, starts talking smack to Kamaru Usman, starts talking smack on Khabib, then yeah, we're going to see him again soon. Probably not against Usman. Usman just had surgery on his hand, and we don't know. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know how much damage anyone's going to take in this fight, so we don't know when we'll see him again. Let's say he goes in there and wins a decision. If he goes in there and wins a decision against Cowboy, that still could be the last time we see Conor McGregor. That's how I feel about that. It's going to be the last time we see Conor McGregor if he wins a decision. He's got to go in there and win convincingly. He's got to win by the second round. He's got to knock this man out, or TKO at least. Doctor stoppage, something. I don't know about doctor stoppage, but I think he's got the pressure, the right combinations that he comes in there. He's pretty fearless. He's so far, Conor McGregor's showed a tough enough chin where he could do that. But Cerrone's got some size on him. Cowboy's got some size on him. This is bigger. This is bigger than just two guys going in there and fighting. This could be the end of something. This could be the end of when Conor McGregor was that guy. Or this could be the start of that second run. If he goes out there and starches, if he beats the shit out of Cowboy and ends it in the first round, he's going to talk that talk. Regardless if he talks that talk or not, everybody else, all the people out here are going to be like, oh shit, he's back. Mystic Mac is back. My prediction, ladies and gentlemen, is a second round stoppage for Conor McGregor. I say Conor wins by second round stoppage. Either I say TKO. Yeah. I think Conor has definitely been working on his grappling. I think people underrate him. They underrate his grappling even beforehand. But I think he's definitely worked on it since the Khabib fight. I think he dominates this fight. I think he's just too skillful. We're going to talk about another fighter fighting on this card, 246, January 18th. Maycee Barber, all right? Big fan of Maycee Barber. She's a beast. I think she could be the next champion at 115 pounds easily, but she fights at 125, and she wants to fight Valentina Shevchenko, and I have my reservations on that. She's going to fight Roxanne Modafferi on the 18th here, and, well, we'll see what happens in that fight. It's funny because at first the media was saying that Modafferi was a pretty easy fight for her. Or no. They were saying it was a pretty easy fight. And now they're saying they're marketing it as a tough challenge, like her toughest challenge. But I think that speaks to just how thin the competition is at strawweight. If it's strawweight that we're talking about. I'm talking about the 125. It's pretty thin. I think my main reservations about Maycee Barber, because if she beats Roxanne Modafferi convincingly, she's got all stoppages. She wins by stoppages. If she wins convincingly against Modafferi, they're probably going to fast track her to a fight with Shevchenko. And my only reservation with that, I would say, well, I think she should fight at, it's not my only, I got a few. My reservations I think she should be fighting at 115. I think she would have a fantastic war, or it could be a war, it could be another early stoppage for her against Zhang Weili. I think I would like to see her against Joanna. That would be cool. And my reservation is like, you've never seen anybody look good against Valentina Shevchenko. You've never seen anyone look good against Shevchenko. So I think that's just where my reservations come, is that you don't really see it. You haven't seen anyone really look capable of beating Shevchenko. So that's where my reservation comes. I didn't think the first time that DC fought Stipe, I didn't think he was going to knock him out in the first round. I didn't think that was possible. It blew my mind, but it happened. Once I saw that it happened, I really started doubting the whole size different narrative, the whole shit that they try to put on you. I don't know why they put that narrative out there, but it's usually the other way around. Usually the smaller guys come in and knock the taller guy out. That's usually how it works. That's how I've seen it in MMA. That's how I've seen it in boxing. Look at Mike Tyson. That was his whole career. Was knocking out super tall dudes, hitting them with the body shots, hitting them to the body. That's how Tyson did it. So I think that's my real reservation there, is that we just haven't seen anyone look good against her. But that doesn't mean that she can't go in there and do it. Felicia Spencer was convinced that she would go in there and beat Cyborg, And she didn't, but she went in there and she didn't. I mean, she got hit pretty hard. She got pretty beat up. She got pretty beat up in there. But she went in there and she did her thing. She tried her jiu-jitsu, and I tip my hat to her. You know, I love jiu-jitsu. And she went in there and she did her thing. She fought her fight. She didn't get her hand raised at the end of it, but she went in there and she fought her fight. She didn't let the intimidation of it all get to her. And so who knows? We see the skills that Maycee Barber has. We see it. So let's put her in there and let's see what happens when she's ready. When she feels she's ready to go in there, let's put her in there. Let's see what happens. I think she could do it. So we've seen what happened when you put Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor the first time. We saw what happened when you put Conor McGregor against Jose Aldo. We saw what happened when you put Dustin Poirier against Max Holloway. Nobody expected Poirier to even stand a chance, let alone put up a good fight against Max Holloway. Nobody really expected that. Because even though he beat him the first time, it was Max Holloway's first fight in the UFC. And he didn't have a striking coach at that time. He's been on record saying, like, back in those days, he would just play the video games and get his combinations from that. So no one expected him to win that, but we saw people go out there and really prove people wrong. And I say there's no reason that can't happen here with Maycee Barber and Valentina Shevchenko. And I'm already writing off Caitlin Chukagian, who's fighting Valentina Shevchenko. But I clearly am not thinking that Shevchenko won't have the belt following that. Because you've never seen anyone look good against Valentina Shevchenko. You've never seen it. So not even Amanda Nunes didn't even look good against Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah, she won, and I thought she lost that second fight. I thought Nunes lost that second fight. And that's why Valentina Shevchenko, went off. She was like, look at her face. She didn't do anything. She was just going off after she lost. And it was understandable because I was pretty sure she won that fight my damn self. So, shout out to Maycee Barber, and can't wait to see her take on Valentina Shevchenko, possibly make history as the youngest UFC champion in history. Yeah. If Edmund Shabazian, if that's his name, doesn't beat you to it. Or that other young boy who was talking about going to the M&M factory. The nigga that was talking about going to the M&M factory. That guy. I was going to talk about, I was thankful. I was saying to my wife, because it was a little while ago, I was saying to my wife that I didn't know what Jewish people were until I lived with a Jewish person with Mo. I didn't know what Jewish people were. And as I started to think about that, it was like, well, it wasn't just like Jewish people. As I was younger, my mom thankfully didn't make us go to church, so I didn't hear any stories. And I didn't hear any of the stories, but I didn't really understand that there was religions other than people believing in God. I thought that was the religion. I thought that was religion, was just simply believing in God. I didn't realize that there were all these different factions praying to the same God. I didn't know that. Even with 9/11, when that happened, I remember people trying to say that it was jihad is a holy war and all that shit. Lupe rapped a lot about it. But all that shit, and I remember I don't know, because here at home, I see Indian kids getting bullied. Not because they don't follow that same religion that caused this shit, but simply because they're brown. So I never saw it as a religious thing. I saw it as just a racist thing on our part as Americans. I didn't participate. I hung with that kid. We used to go to McDonald's after class. I fucked with homeboy. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like the outcast little boy. So, as you gonna mess with this homie, like, it was the year after 6th grade, I was in summer school. You gonna mess with homie, the year, it was like right, 6th grade is when 9/11 happened. So niggas was on him right away. Terrorists, all kind of shit they calling him. And I hung out with him because, fuck y'all. Y'all don't, like, if this is how you treat him exactly, like, how are you gonna treat me in a minute? When it seems opportune to you. Like, I don't want to hang with y'all. I'm good. That's how I looked at it. That's how I looked at it, homeboy. That's how I looked at it, homeboy. And, so I didn't know, though. I didn't know. I just wasn't told the stories. My mama never made me go, but, you know, when I was younger, it was just like people believed in God, and then I remember my brother and my cousin told me that they didn't, and I didn't know that we had a choice. I thought it was just a thing that people did. I thought people just believed in God, you know? I thought that was a thing. And at some point, my brothers and my cousins, we started going to Holy Cathedral, Church of God. And yeah, Holy Cathedral, Church of God. So we went there, it was gospel, people, or I think people were dancing, doing the things, catching the Holy Ghost. A lot of energy in there. At some point, I remember, man, there would be just like random times we'd ended up in church. We just went to church because we were bored. Like, my brothers and my cousins, we just were bored. And there was a church at the end of the block, so we went. From time to time, we go to Sunday school, just to kick it. Just to kick it. And, yeah. We never really believed it. Even back then, we didn't believe anything they were talking about. I remember niggas would catch the Holy Ghost, and me and my brother would just, like, dance in the aisle in a dance competition with these niggas. And what I'm saying is like when people would read those Bible verses or whatever, I mean, in the black church, they would kind of put their own thing on it and get you to, like, get into it. I just didn't understand the stories or think the stories applied to me. I never really, like, vibed with it, you know? So I didn't know what other religions were. And because I definitely didn't know what Christianity was. I didn't know anything about the one that people, I didn't even realize that there was a religion that people were following. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. I didn't know that there were different religions. And I'm happy for that. Because where the conversation came from was I was saying I would love it if we had kids and then one day they go to school and someone mentions, like, God to them, and then they're just like, what does that mean? What does that word mean? And I just want them to just be, like, completely ignorant to the concept of any religious, like, terms. I just want them to just, like, be unaware. Though that's pretty ignorant. I would want them to be completely aware of all that shit. And yeah, and just know better. Just know better. I want them to know everything as much as they can. So that's where it originally came from. Was just that thought. And then I came to the assumption, like, damn, my mom was religious, you know, but she, for the most part, just didn't want to go to church. She herself just didn't want to go, so she didn't make us go. And then you raised some atheistic ass niggas. Just a couple of us, just me and I'll speak on Travis. I'll say Travis, yeah, me and Travis. We never rocked with that, but I'm not atheist. I just don't care. It's It's not a big part of my life. But now, yeah, I was thinking about that. I wanted, I want my kid, if I'm raising kids, I want them to not, clearly I don't want them to be religious. I mean, they can be religious about real things, if you understand what I'm saying, but not about religion. And I want them to understand it. I want them to understand what it is, what it really is, what it does to people, and how it works. I want them to understand it, really. Maybe they'll start their own, who knows? But I just want them to understand it. Rather than to fall into it just because. I'm not hating. If you do, you do. Like, I'm not hating. I could be wrong. You could be wrong. We're all wrong. Who knows? I think a lot of things. I think a lot of things, man. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna go on this real long rant. So I don't know why I keep doing this. I keep I could talk about this. I was listening to Ye. I was just like, let's pretend like 2019 never happened. Let's just pretend 2019 never happened. I was listening to Kanye like it was 2018 all over again. And he was listening to the song. He's like, and I'll never let my son have an ego. He'll be nice to everyone wherever we go. I mean, I might even make him be Republican, so everybody know he love white people. And I'll never let him leave his college girlfriend and get caught up in the groupies in the whirlwind. And I'll never let him ever hit the telethon. I mean, even if people dying in the world end, see, I just want him to have an easy life. Not like easy life. Just want him to be someone people like. They want him to be, they want him to be hated all the time, Judge. Don't be like your daddy that'll never budge. Anywho, so that right there, those lines, I just want him to have an easy life, not like easy life. Just want him to be someone people like. So when I think about, did I defend Kanye for too long? No, I think Kanye's still that person. I think he right now is like, as a married man, maybe he's in a different world. Living out there with the Kardashians. He's just in a different world. He's in a different place. And at this point, he wants he wants people to like. It's a different someone. It's a different goal of people that he's trying to please right now, I guess. And can you really knock him for he's just in a different place. I don't think I was wrong for defending him all these years. I think he's just in a different place. Like physically, mentally, he was in a different space. And now that he's this family man living with the Kardashians, he's living with the Kardashians. And now he found God, Now he found God. I wasn't wrong for defending him this long. If anything, I'm wrong for not still defending him now. But I just don't really vibe with the music. I mean, I guess that's okay. I vibe with some of it. He's got his right. I guess I'm defending him right now. He's got his right to be that guy that he is right now. If he wants to be a MAGA guy, if he wants to be this, if he wants to hang out with Joel Osteen and do his gospel thing, man, like do your thing, man. If that's what you want to do, if that's what drives you, man. Who are we? Who am I to be like, nah, man, get back to talking about bitches. Suicide and bitches. Yeah, so get off Ye. Get off my nigga Ye. And now that we're on the subject, Everything We Need off of the last album, the song Everything We Need was actually a pretty good song. It was actually a pretty good song. Now that we're on the subject, if we want to give compliments, if you want to say something nice, Everything We Need was a pretty good song. I like it. I listen to it from time to time. I don't bump that album like I did your other albums, but I rock with it. I rock with Everything We Need. I wish that was like 6 minutes. With a with a Blood on a Leaf switch up. You know what I'm saying? To all my second string bitches. Anywho, I wasn't wrong for defending Kanye West before. I was wrong for not defending him now. And this last bit I want to leave with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of serious. The other day, my wife revealed to me that in the future we will not be an Eminem family. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife revealed to me that we will not be an Eminem family. My kids won't walk around the house screaming 313, fuck free world, 313, fuck free world, be rabbit, be rabbit. You know, that would warm my heart. It would just warm my heart if I came home and my kids were just chanting that. You know? Ladies and gentlemen, my wife revealed to me that we will not be an Eminem family. Not even the first album. I mean, not right away. I mean, my kids will be my kids. And when I was that young, I was listening to Eminem. Well, not early on. At some point. When I was pretty young. By the time I was like 8, I was listening to Eminem. So by the time these niggas 8, it's going to be, hi, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife revealed to me that she will not allow this family to be an Eminem family. I haven't asked about Evanescence, but ladies and gentlemen, doesn't look too good. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been listening week to week, my wife revealed to me that we would not be a Maroon 5 family. My wife revealed to me that she was never a fan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, she dropped the bomb on me. Baby, we will not be an Eminem family. Not even the second album. Not even Marshall Mathers LP. And I know you fucking stans are out there saying like, oh, you ain't talking about Infinite? You ain't gonna put Infinite out there and then say Slim Shady was the second album? Go fuck yourself. How about that? How about you go fuck yourself? Not even the second album. And if you caught the reference, I said you stans. Not even the second album with Stan, with Dido on there. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife revealed to me that we will not be an Eminem family. You know how that makes me feel? You know how much I love Slim Shady? This podcast probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Slim Shady. Y'all know how I started in the game? Started out listening to... No, I was, when I watched 8 Mile, The day it came out in theaters, I saw 8 Mile. Went to the store, got a notepad, started writing lyrics. And now we ended up here. Now we're here. So if it wasn't for Marshall Mathers, probably wouldn't even met my wife. Think about that. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, my wife revealed to me that we will not be an Eminem family. And it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. You know, but what I would say is for Christmas, we were in the car and she allowed me to rock out to One Last Breath by Creed. And I really appreciate her for that. So, babe, I love you for that. I know you don't want to admit it, but I know you love that song. One last breath, and will it let me say, hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. And if you want to follow the podcast on Twitter or Instagram, that will be at Babylon5Pod. If you want to follow my personal account, that'll be at my name's Jermaine. You can email the podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow, like, subscribe, whatever, and listen to the podcast on Babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to the podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and pretty much everywhere that podcasts stream. You can also, if you want, play a little Xbox with your boy. I wanted to mention that just before I started recording this, I made a small forward character build on 2K. I was telling you guys, well, why don't I try it? Why don't I try it out? So I just made the character. Maybe I'll see if I get drafted. I don't know where I want to play. I've only ever really scouted it out for centers. Like every time I play the game, I always make a center. So I don't even know where I'd fit in. I don't want to just go play for the Bucks and really not need to be there. I don't want to take people's spots just to be there. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, thank you all so much. You can play video games, I was going to say, with your boy on Xbox. And my gamer tag is SauceBoss414. This is episode 20. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for singing along to that Creed with me. My wife, I love you so much. I know you're a closeted Creed fan. Episode 20, Twen. Thank you all for rocking with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Peace.